Hello coders, welcome to this session. In this session and in future sessions, we'll be learning about the Django framework. We'll be learning to create a project in Django, create applications in Django, create models in Django, perform CRUD operations, and so on. So let's start with the Django framework. What is a Django framework? A web framework is a collection of packages or modules which allow developers to write web applications or services without having to handle low-level details like protocols, sockets, or process thread management. Frameworks also provide a number of activities such as interpreting the request, that is, it's getting the form parameters from the form, handling cookies, creating sessions, producing response in the form of an HTML file, and also storing data in the database, so performing ORM mapping, etc. Now, Django is a Python framework. We also have other frameworks such as Flask, Streamlit, etc. And the architecture of Django framework, as you can see on screen, is this way. Now, a user is going to request for a web page in the server. Now, please remember Django is a server-sided framework. Okay. So what is happening is a user is going to request for a page and this page is in the server. So how are you handling this request? So Django handles this request by passing this request first to the URL. So we saw there is a urls.py in our project. That file is going to perform routing. Once the URL sees the particular path for the requested page, it sends the request to the views.py file. So this is our view. So view is the controller in Django architecture. So views.py is the file which has functions and classes which perform some functionality, and based on the path it will route it to this particular function or class. Okay, it can have multiple classes, but at a time only one function or one class is going to be called. Once this class is called, that class would be performing some operations. It could be storing data from the database, or it could be retrieving data from the database. Now whatever database codes have to be written, that will be written in models.py. So it is this views.py which is connecting to the models.py, and it is going to retrieve the data. So it is the intermediate file which is performing these actions. So it is the controller. So this views.py is going to execute the function, and if the function has to render an HTML page, it will go to the templates folder and retrieve the HTML page, give it back to the user. So this is the basic structure of Django. So if you see, you will have a urls.py which is going to perform routing. You will also see views.py where you're going to write the Python code to perform the control logic. You will see a models.py which will store all tables information, and you will also see a templates folder which is going to store all HTML files. Thank you for being with me in this session. In the next session, we'll be creating and running a basic project in Django.